December 31st, 2025, two Virginia women file a federal RICO lawsuit against Drake, Adin Ross, and Stake, the same statute used to take down the mob. Then, leaked documents reveal Drake allegedly used gambling money to finance massive bot farms. Here's why plaintiffs say this RICO case could expose Drake to serious criminal scrutiny. December 31st, 2025. While most people were prepared to ring in the new year, two Virginia women filed a federal lawsuit that would explode into one of the most complex legal tangles in recent entertainment history. Lashana Ridley and Tiffany Hines weren't just suing a gambling site. They were accusing Drake, one of the world's biggest rappers, of orchestrating a criminal enterprise. The lawsuit landed in the U.S. District Court for the Eastern District of Virginia, naming Drake alongside streamer Adin Ross, Australian influencer Georgian Nguyen, and the crypto gambling platform Stake US. But this wasn't just another celebrity endorsement gone wrong. The filing alleged violations of RICO, the Racketeer Influenced and Corrupt Organizations Act, a federal statute originally designed to take down the mob.
Drake just got hit with a RICO lawsuit. That's right, you guys. I've got Daniel here. Dan actually broke the news this morning. If you guys are wondering, he's an attorney, and I believe that you're based out in Florida, right?
RICO isn't just another legal acronym, it's a weapon. The statute requires proving a pattern of racketeering activity, at least two predicate acts within 10 years, creating or participating in an enterprise through illegal conduct. The kicker? If you win a civil RICO case, damages get tripled automatically. What starts as a $5 million lawsuit could balloon to $15 million overnight.
RICO, the use of the federal racketeering statute triples the damages. So this is, if this were to go the whole way and survive motions to dismiss, motions for summary judgment, and it's left standing at the end of the day and goes to trial.
The heart of the allegation centers on Stake.us, which the lawsuit describes as a virtual clone of Stake.com. After U.S. authorities banned Stake.com from operating domestically, the platform simply rebranded. Stake.us marketed itself as a social casino, claiming users weren't gambling with real money at all, just harmless entertainment, they said, just virtual tokens. But according to the complaint, that's where the deception began. Stake.us operates with a two-currency system that sounds complicated, but works devastatingly simply. Users purchase gold coins with real money. Those gold coins have no value. They're digital trash. But with every gold coin purchase comes a bonus of Stake Cash. And Stake Cash, that's redeemable for cryptocurrency or digital gift cards at a 1-to-1 rate with the US dollar.
My interest in this subject stems from the fact that I'm a gambling industry attorney. I work with companies that operate sports betting, fantasy sports, and I focus on stuff like casinos, horse racing, prediction markets, and I take an interest in sweepstakes.
The scheme works like this. Buy $20 worth of worthless gold coins. Get $20 in Stake Cash as your free bonus. Gamble exclusively with the Stake Cash. Win? Cash out real money. Lose? Buy more gold coins to get more Stake Cash. An endless cycle designed to bypass gambling regulations while functioning as exactly what it claims not to be, a real money casino. Virginia law makes this operation explicitly illegal. Online gambling is completely banned in the Commonwealth. No exceptions, no loopholes. Yet Stake operated openly, serving Virginia consumers while allegedly violating state regulations with every transaction. Enter Drake's $100 million deal. According to the Financial Times, Drake signed a partnership with Stake in 2022 worth at least $100 million per year. That's not endorsement money. That's structural investment in the platform's success.
Plaintiffs have been further damaged by the false marketing manipulations and abuses of Drake, who by his own public announcement has been paid some $100 million per year to promote Stake, as well as defendants Ross and Nguyen.
Adin Ross adds another layer. The controversial streamer broadcasts on Kick, a platform owned by Stake's founders. Ross gets paid heavily to promote gambling, live streaming marathon sessions to his massive young audience. These aren't subtle product placements. They're hours-long gambling spectacles, with Ross wagering huge sums while viewers watch. When similar lawsuits emerged in October 2025, Ross dismissed the allegations as bull during a live stream, claiming the legal action had no merit. The third co-conspirator is George Nguyen, identified in the lawsuit as an Australian national running the Instagram account A Grand Wizard Chat. Nguyen operates what the filing calls a news clipping and entertainment account. But the allegations describe something far more calculated: a facilitator and operational broker, converting cryptocurrency to cash and back again. The live stream deception gets particularly damning. Drake and Ross regularly gambled publicly on stake, wagering massive amounts that appeared to be their own money. Drake would bet hundreds of thousands on single spins. Ross would match with equally staggering wagers. The image projected was simple. These guys are so rich, they can afford to lose like this. You can too. But the lawsuit reveals what it calls the truth behind those streams.
And stake is one of the largest, probably this after Chumba Casino, might be the largest sweepstakes casino website operating in all of North America. I mean, they generate billions of dollars in revenue every single year.
House money, surreptitiously provided, made to look like personal funds to create what the filing calls false sense of legitimacy. The entire performance was allegedly staged, casino money disguised as celebrity wealth to manipulate viewers into believing the platform was legitimate. Then there's the tipping function. Stake allows users to tip each other directly on the platform. The lawsuit describes this feature as unlimited and wholly unregulated, essentially a money transmitter operating outside any financial oversight. No regulator is monitoring transactions. No transparency about who sends what to whom. Perfect infrastructure for moving money without scrutiny. The complaint provides specific examples. Drake allegedly tipped Ross $220,000 through stake. Another documented transfer of $100,000 between defendants. The lawsuit claims these weren't generous gifts between friends. They were payments being obscured through the tipping system to hide true source and destination.
It says stake's platform's design, which masks counterparties and camouflages withdrawals as generic transactions, stymie scrutiny, and obstruct tracing of illicit proceeds. So it just says the nature of how stake is designed.
The enterprise structure reads like a textbook RICO case. Multiple defendants forming what the law calls a criminal enterprise with a common purpose to facilitate illegal online gambling. Each participant allegedly played a specific role. Stake provided the platform, Drake provided the star power, Ross provided the audience reach, and Nguyen provided the operational backend. The predicate acts center on violating 18 U.S.C. Section 1955. The federal statute making it illegal to operate a gambling business prohibited by state law. To trigger this statute, you need 5 or more persons involved in a continuous operation for over 30 days, grossing at least $2,000 in a single day. Stake allegedly cleared those thresholds by astronomical margins.
Yeah, paragraph 1, I mean, right out of the gate, in every lawsuit, the goal of the plaintiff's lawyers is to grab the judges by the lapel. You want to start strong. You want to establish your theme. And right out of the gate, this is a consumer class action to stop stake and illegal online gambling platform.
But the lawsuit goes beyond gambling. It alleges something far more insidious, that Drake used stake proceeds to fund massive artificial streaming campaigns. The complaint claims defendants were preying upon consumers, exposing them unlawfully to substantial risks of gambling addiction, while simultaneously using the platform's money to artificially inflate Drake's Spotify numbers. The mechanism allegedly worked like this. Gambling proceeds flowed through Stake's tipping function to various accounts. Those funds then allegedly financed automated bots and streaming farms, designed to artificially inflate play counts across Spotify and other platforms. The goal wasn't just gambling profit, it was manipulating music algorithms to make Drake appear more popular than organic listening would support.
2 separate distinct themes, that Stake is operating and promoting an illegal gambling website, which Drake is benefiting from and promoting himself, and Stake is being utilized allegedly utilized by Drake and others.
Attorney Daniel Wallach, who specializes in gambling law, broke down what makes this case unprecedented. The allegations aren't just about promoting a sketchy website. They're about an interconnected scheme where each defendant played a role, some promoting, some facilitating, and one allegedly serving as the middleman converting crypto to cash. What the plaintiffs are seeking is substantial, damages not less than $5 million. Class certification for all Virginia users who lost money using stake cash in the last 3 years. And because it's a RICO case, those damages get tripled if they prevail. Plus, disgorgement of ill-gotten gains, injunctive relief, and attorney's fees. The addiction angle makes this especially dark. The lawsuit alleges defendants preyed on consumers by exposing them to substantial risks of gambling addiction. The complaint describes how Ridley and Hines were influenced to participate after viewing Drake's promotions, including live stream sessions and massive giveaways. The complaint frames this as protecting consumers from what it calls a predatorial gambling environment operating outside any regulatory oversight. Virginia law prohibits online gambling entirely. Stake.us operates there anyway, according to the lawsuit, hiding behind the social casino label while processing real money through a two-currency system designed to confuse regulators and consumers alike.
The risk to Drake at this point isn't a legal one. It's a reputational risk because this now impugns his reputation as an artist and accuses him of engaging in illicit activities in order to artificially boost his numbers.
The deeper allegation cuts through the gambling charges to something more complex. That Drake, Ross, and Nguyen formed a criminal enterprise under RICO. They used illegal gambling proceeds to fund artificial manipulation of music streaming platforms. That they hid money flows through unregulated digital tipping systems, moving hundreds of thousands of dollars between themselves while financing bot farms to inflate Drake's play counts across Spotify and other services. Class certification becomes crucial. If the court grants it, every Virginia resident who used Stake.us within the last 3 years and lost wagers using stake cash becomes a potential class member. The damages multiply, the evidence pool expands, and the pressure on defendants increases exponentially. The filing demands a jury trial on all issues. 12 citizens evaluating whether Drake, Ross, and Nguyen conducted themselves as described, forming an enterprise, engaging in patterns of racketeering activity, causing injury to Virginia consumers through deceptive gambling operations and hidden financial schemes. Up to this point, the case centers on illegal gambling, but the complaint says that was only the starting point. The lawsuit paints a picture of something more sinister than just gambling promotion. According to court documents, Drake allegedly used his massive $100 million annual payments from Stake to orchestrate an elaborate scheme. Money would flow from the gambling platform to Drake. Then millions would get tipped through Stake's internal system to Adin Ross before being transferred to George Nguyen in Australia. Nguyen allegedly served as what the lawsuit calls an operational broker. His role? Converting Stake's cryptocurrency payments into cash, then using those funds to pay bot vendors. The lawsuit claims he supervised coordinated amplification strategies and integrated paid clipping campaigns across social media. YouTube channels would repost Drake content, creating artificial viral moments, all allegedly financed by Stake money that had been carefully laundered through their unregulated tipping system. The goal wasn't just popularity for popularity's sake. The lawsuit alleges these bot farms were calibrated to mislead royalty engines and recommendation engines. Every fake stream would register as real. Every bot account would count toward Drake's metrics. And those inflated numbers would then distort playlists, manipulate charts, and divert both value and audience attention away from legitimate artists.
But approximately 37 billion streams were inauthentic and appeared to be the work of a network of bot accounts, is what they're alleging. And they allege that this activity took place between January 2022 and September 2025.
The lawsuit claims it has seen chat logs between the defendants, other records proving the scheme. Evidence showing Nguyen paying bot vendors at Drake's direction since at least 2022. not a one-time mistake. An ongoing and imminent threat of racketeering activity. Consider Drake's Spotify numbers. Approximately 120 billion total streams. First artist to reach that milestone back in September 2025. But according to the lawsuit, a significant portion was artificially generated through coordinated bot campaigns. The mechanics of how this allegedly corrupted the system are crucial. Spotify uses what's called a pro rata model. All streams get pooled together. Then royalties get divided based on each artist's percentage of total streams. If Drake's numbers are artificially inflated through bots, his slice of the pie grows. Everyone else's shrinks. Legitimate artists lose money not because fewer people listen to them, but because the system itself was being gamed. The lawsuit alleges these inauthentic streams were injected via interstate digital pathways, crossing state lines, using wire communications, meeting RICO's interstate requirement, making it a federal case. The pattern went beyond just streaming fraud. The plaintiffs allege amplification campaigns that targeted competitors with disparaging content, manufacturing false narratives, creating coordinated attacks, all allegedly financed through this same stake money pipeline. Timing matters here. The lawsuit mentions Drake's new album Iceman, which is being prepared for release. First time it's been publicly referenced. New promotion cycle beginning, just as this RICO case gets filed. Release strategy potentially affected. Career momentum interrupted right when he needs it most. Stake's response was swift and dismissive. Their spokesperson denied the claims outright, said the company
does not have a tipping function that could be used this way.
Called the complaint a nonsense claim, said they're not concerned about this lawsuit. But the lawsuit includes specific dollar amounts, specific transactions, claims of documented chat logs. The Virginia Consumer Protection Act claim adds another layer. Beyond RICO, the plaintiffs are alleging false marketing manipulation, deceptive business practices, abuses of promotional power, consumer fraud, state law violations on top of federal charges. The damage calculation is staggering. Economic losses from gambling, reputational harm to plaintiffs, emotional distress from addiction, financial devastation of families, plus the streaming fraud impact on legitimate artists. Hundreds of millions of dollars in total damages being sought.
Because I feel like in the future, this is going to be like the next federal freak-off, like one of the next big federal cases, because this is illegal. Like, it's going to be a lot of artists who have been using these bot farms to blow their numbers up.
For context on why this matters so much, industry insiders have long known streaming fraud exists. But proving it at this scale, against someone this famous, with this much documentation, that's unprecedented. The lawsuit alleges this manipulation suppressed authentic artists, narrowed consumers' access to legitimate content, undermined the integrity of curated experiences. When Drake's artificially inflated numbers dominated playlists and charts, genuine musicians lost not just revenue, but opportunity. Their songs never got heard because the algorithm was feeding listeners bot-boosted content instead. The continuous nature of the scheme is what makes it racketeering, not a one-time incident. Executed on an ongoing basis persistently, since at least 2022. The lawsuit emphasizes it remains an ongoing and imminent threat. A sustained criminal enterprise operating over multiple years, allegedly touching every new release, every promotional campaign. The RICO statute requires showing a pattern of conduct, repeated acts. The lawsuit demonstrates alleged illegal gambling operations, money laundering implications, potential wire fraud, and interstate commerce violations. All the elements needed to create a prosecutable pattern under federal racketeering laws. What makes this case particularly dangerous for Drake isn't just the civil liability. It's what happens if prosecutors start paying attention. Civil RICO cases often become roadmaps for criminal investigations. The plaintiffs are essentially doing the discovery work, gathering evidence, and establishing patterns. If federal authorities decide there's merit here, this becomes a whole different situation. This case highlights how modern digital platforms have created gray areas in financial regulation. Stake's tipping system allegedly functioned outside traditional banking oversight. No know your customer requirements. No transaction monitoring. just cryptocurrency moving freely between accounts while streaming bots ran 24/7 in the background. The scale of operations needed to generate billions of fraudulent streams is staggering. Thousands of bot accounts, virtual private networks mask geographic locations, coordinated timing to avoid detection algorithms. The lawsuit claims some streams originated from areas with literally zero residential addresses. What makes this different from your typical celebrity scandal is the permanence of digital evidence, screenshots, blockchain transactions, streaming data, chat logs allegedly documenting years of coordination. Every digital footprint becomes potential evidence. Every transaction leaves a trail. The broader implications for the music industry are massive. If these allegations hold up in court, they expose vulnerabilities in how streaming platforms calculate royalties, how charts measure popularity, how discovery algorithms recommend content. The entire foundation gets called into question. For independent artists, this represents vindication of concerns they've raised for years. That feeling when your genuinely popular track gets buried, while bot-boosted content dominates playlists. The suspicion that the game was rigged. Now there's a federal case potentially proving it. And while these allegations paint a disturbing picture on their own, they didn't exist in isolation. By the end of 2025, this lawsuit wasn't even Drake's first warning sign. It was part of a growing pattern. December 31st, 2025 landed like a hammer. Drake's third lawsuit in months. This time out of Virginia. Pattern, more like a blueprint unfolding in real time. Missouri filed first on October 27th. Jackson County Circuit Court naming Drake, Ross, and Sweepstakes Limited. 2 days later, New Mexico joined the party, Second Judicial District Court, with identical allegations. All claiming the same thing: illegal gambling promotion. Stake was operating where it had no business operating.
It is also suggesting that Drake and Aiden, as spokespeople for Stake, are misleading consumers. And then, as it relates to music, it is alleging
New Mexico's Gaming Control Board had made its position crystal clear. Online gambling was prohibited. Period. Yet here were Drake and Ross, allegedly promoting it anyway, their names plastered across a platform that multiple states were calling illegal. But November brought something different. November 3rd, California District Court. Rapper RBX, Snoop Dogg's cousin with over 1 million monthly Spotify listeners himself, filed a class action. Crucially, Drake wasn't named as a defendant this time. The lawsuit targeted Spotify directly, but the entire focus, Drake's streams, all 37 billion of them.
Drake, what's going on? A RICO charge, allegedly, with the gambling ring bot thing. The year just started, bruh.
RBX's allegations weren't subtle. Between January 2022 and September 2025, he claimed,
a substantial, non-trivial percentage of Drake's plays were completely fake. The work of a sprawling network of bot accounts generates billions of fraudulent streams.
The evidence they presented. Abnormal VPN usage is designed specifically to hide where these bot accounts actually live. One example stood out: Drake's No Face Single, 250,000 streams over 4 days in 2024, allegedly originating in Turkey but falsely geo-mapped through VPNs to show up as United Kingdom traffic. Geographic manipulation at industrial scale. Even more damning, large percentages of Drake streams concentrated in areas whose populations couldn't physically support those numbers. Numbers that defied basic logic. Then there was the engagement rate. Less than 2% of Drake listeners are actually saving songs to playlists, following his profile, commenting, or sharing. The hallmark of bot behavior. Streams without actual human engagement. Spotify's response was carefully worded. They couldn't comment on pending litigation naturally, but insisted Spotify in no way benefits from artificial streaming. They heavily invest in best-in-class systems to combat fraud, they said. Our systems are working. Spotify cited its own evidence. a 2024 DOJ indictment of a streaming fraud ring where bad actors stole $10 million total, but only $60,000 from Spotify. See, they argued, our safeguards work better than others. But that argument missed the forest for the trees. If bots could steal any amount, the system had holes. Period. RBX wasn't seeking damages for himself alone. He estimated hundreds of millions in lost royalties for all affected artists, positioning this as industry-wide theft where fraudulent streams siphoned money from genuine creators.
Real quick, let me address this tweet because it was kind of making noise or whatever in the Twitter land. I said Drake and Nicki stans been fighting for their lives last year, to change the narrative since their careers have been declining, and it's been embarrassing to witness.
Here's where the irony became almost poetic. In November 2024, Drake filed his own lawsuit against Universal Music Group, accusing them of botting streams for Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us, the diss track that called Drake a which dominated cultural conversation. Drake claimed was artificially boosted. October 2025, a judge called Drake's claims legally deficient and dismissed the case. Drake's appealing naturally, but while he's fighting to prove Kendrick's streams were fake, multiple lawsuits are alleging his own streams were manufactured. The symmetry was striking. The accusations are coming full circle, tables completely turned. Then there's the Stake Kick connection most people miss. Kick, the streaming platform where Adin Ross became a star, is owned by Stake. Vertical integration at its finest, a gambling company owning the platform where gambling gets promoted, paying streamers to broadcast their own casino. December 2024, Ross goaded NFL player Puka Nacua into an anti-Semitic touchdown celebration on stream. Rubbing hands together gesture, looking directly at the camera. Nacua apologized later, but the incident crystallized Ross's track record. Controversial content, young, impressionable audience, heavy gambling promotion, not taking accusations seriously.
The last gambling lawsuit of 2025 is a doozy. A federal RICO class action versus Stake and rapper Drake for promoting an illegal online gambling site under the guise of a fake sweepstakes.
The broader industry crisis? Fraud detection firm BeatDap estimates up to 10% of all streams are fake, siphoning billions annually from genuine creators. Not just Drake, not just Spotify. The entire ecosystem is corrupted at the foundational level. International crackdowns are already happening. A Danish man was convicted last year. An individual was arrested in Brazil in March. Turkey is investigating Spotify over bribery and bot allegations. September 2024, North Carolina case against Michael Smith. Federal prosecutors charging him with using AI to generate 10,000 fake songs, streaming them through active bot accounts, making over $10 million. First major federal prosecution establishing precedent.
DIYers, I miss when hip-hop did not have an abundance of lawsuits.
Somebody gonna have to tell the truth, and I'm gonna tell it.
But just like the trendsetter did in music, Drake is doing it again. He is setting another trend, ladies and gentlemen, this time.
What criminal charges could mean for Drake? RICO violations carry 20 years per violation, potentially. Illegal gambling business charges, wire fraud across state lines, money laundering allegations, and tax evasion possibilities. Career-ending consequences are stacking up like cordwood. Drake's estimated $250 to $300 million net worth sites exposed on multiple fronts. Every income stream is now under scrutiny. Streaming royalties questioned, tour revenue dependent on popularity metrics being challenged, and endorsement deals at risk. The Stake partnership, once lucrative, is now toxic.
Plaintiffs have been further damaged by the false marketing manipulations and abuses of Drake, who by his own public announcement has been paid some $100 million per year to promote Stake.
The domino effect was already visible. Virginia filed on December 31st, other states watching closely. Missouri and New Mexico had blazed the trail. Now every state attorney general with constituents on stake could calculate political points in going after a celebrity defendant. Discovery would be devastating. Financial records between all defendants, stake payment records, and cryptocurrency transaction trails, chat logs and communications between Drake, Ross, and Nguyen. bot vendor contracts and payment receipts, streaming analytics data showing geographic impossibilities. If a RICO conviction happens, damages triple automatically under federal law, could reach billions of dollars collectively across all plaintiffs. Potentially thousands of stake users in the U.S. are represented in a class certification. Criminal charges potentially following civil verdicts, the kind of fall that rewrites hip-hop history. The class certification battle determines everything. Plaintiffs seeking to represent all Virginia stake.us users who lost wagers past 3 years. Potentially thousands of people, millions in combined losses. Drake's legal team would fight certification hard. Knowing approval means game over. Settlement versus trial presents impossible choices. Drake could settle quietly, admit no wrongdoing, pay an undisclosed sum, and make the problem disappear temporarily. Or fight in a public trial where all evidence gets exposed, discovery becomes devastating, and media coverage is relentless. But settling multiple state lawsuits plus the Spotify case, the aggregate cost is astronomical. The reputational damage already done was irreversible, already hurt by Kendrick beef. Now facing RICO charges across multiple states, bot allegations seemingly confirmed by an independent lawsuit against Spotify. What this means for hip-hop extends beyond one artist. The streaming era's legitimacy is fundamentally questioned. How many other artists are botting? Industry-wide investigation needed, trust in charts evaporating, fans questioning everything they've been told about popularity, about dominance, about who really moves culture. The lesson for influencers couldn't be clearer. Don't promote gambling to young people, especially illegal operations operating in regulatory gray areas. Endorsement deals have consequences. Quick money is not worth RICO charges and prison. Reputation is priceless. Once destroyed, never fully recovered. Drake's trajectory from untouchable superstar to defendant in multiple federal cases happened faster than anyone predicted. December 31st brings the third lawsuit in months. Pattern no longer deniable. Whether criminal charges follow civil verdicts remains unknown, but precedent exists. The walls are closing in from every direction simultaneously.